Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Please be seated.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of the class of 2016, I would like to welcome you to our commencement ceremony. Colonel Benson, Mr. Carlisle, parents, faculty, honored guests, we have long awaited this special day and are honored and pleased to have you come to share in our joy and triumph. We are honored that Colonel Christopher Benson has agreed to be our speaker this evening and would like to thank him for taking the time to be with us. Ms. Muriel Hines, Mr. Daniel Smith, and Mrs. Kaki Stroh-Snyder, thank you for agreeing to be our voices as you read our dedications. To the teachers who have helped to make this evening possible, thank you for the countless hours you have dedicated to our education and for helping to mold us into what we are today. We would like all teachers in the audience to please rise and be recognized. Mr. Carlisle, Mrs. Harrison, and Dr. Banky, thank you for all you've have done to keep us on the path towards this day. Most importantly, we would like to thank our parents and families for making this night possible. Thank you.
Invited speaker, Colonel Christopher Benson, honored guests from near and far, welcome to the Ansbach High School graduation ceremony for school year 2016. I ask for your cooperation in recognizing that this is a solemn ceremony, and as such, I respectfully request that parents, family members, and friends show dignity and restraint during the program. As a ceremony, there are many rituals and regalia that we will observe during the course of this evening. Most importantly, this is a rite of passage. As a rite of passage, this is the transition from childhood to adulthood, and it is our hope that your education will serve you well in your future endeavors. May the lessons you learned help guide you in making good decisions and responsible choices. Graduation comes from the word gradus or step, so you are all taking the next step in life. The salutatorian represents the second highest ranking student and traditionally gives the first remarks or the welcoming address. The military salutes as the initial greeting. This year's salutatorian is Alexander Sperber. The valedictorian represents the highest level of academic achievement in standing. A valediction means to bid farewell. This year's valedictorian is Teramar Serrano Vega. The diploma was originally made of sheepskin parchment. The word has a Greek origin meaning folded paper. Pomp and Circumstance was first performed in Liverpool, England on October 19, 1901, and is now a standard piece to provide cadence for the procession toward the stage. Caps or mortar boards actually were first used to hold mortar. In Roman times, freed slaves wore them as a symbol of their emancipation. Today, they signify freedom through education. The tassel represents the school, and so they carry the school colors. Turning the tassel represents the moment of transition or taking the next step. The gown dates back to the 12th or 13th century and originally considered clerical robes. They were a symbol of stature and responsibility. The robes serve a dual purpose today as they provide a standard form of dress to cover all social distinctions and to suggest equality in education. The cap toss was a tradition begun in 1912 at the United States Naval Academy. Worthy of mentioning is that DoDEA offers the honors diploma. To earn an honors diploma, a student must have a 3.8 grade point average and they must have taken a minimum of 4 AP advanced placement courses. Ansbach High School has 6 students who have earned this diploma. When I call your name, please stand and be recognized. Daniel Claybaugh, Walter Matil, Teramar Serrano Vega, Alexander Sperber, Lane Sterrett, and Ross Sterrett. Thank you. From this graduating class, seniors have accumulated an estimated $878,781 in the form of scholarships, financial aid, and GI Bills. That's a lot of money. Good job. Students from this graduating class have reported that they wish to become a neurosurgeon, an engineer, a nurse, an automotive engineer, a doctor, a personal trainer, a physical therapist, a veterinarian, a teacher. They want to work in international relations, business, and marketing. Our students will fan out across our great country, and they will influence and shape the future for us all. To the senior class sponsor, Kaki Stroh-Snyder, I say thank you for arranging this event and for staying in touch with senior issues and holding parent meetings during the course of the year. To the senior parents, I say thank you for all of your contributions throughout the course of your child's educational years and for helping your son or daughter stay focused and in school. You probably cannot believe that the day has finally come when you will watch your child make this important transition into adulthood. To the teachers, I say thank you for working closely with our students and parents and for the important contributions you have made during the course of their social and intellectual development. To the senior counselor, Dr. Benke, I say thank you so much for working so closely with all of our seniors and me. For your personal efforts have ensured that we got this group through. To the military community, I say thank you for safeguarding democracy, which rests on the foundation of intellectual and personal freedom. To the senior class, I say with freedom comes responsibility. And as my mother used to tell me, your life is what you make it. Thank you.
This year's salutatorian is Alexander Sperber with a GPA of 4.162. Alexander was born in Sandy, Utah, and moved to Ansbach as a junior from Wiesbaden. He is the son of Matt and Kelly and has a sister, Ashlyn, and 2 brothers, Aiden and Andre. While in high school, Alexander was a member of the National Honor Society and German Honor Society. He also participated in the Model United States Senate and Political International Security Seminar. Alexander was also a member of the varsity cross-country and soccer teams. Alexander is an active Boy Scout and has built several houses in Romania with Habitat for Humanity as a part of his Eagle Scout project. Alexander has been accepted to the University of Utah Honors College, where he plans to major in pre-med. Ladies and gentlemen, Alexander Sperber.
President Obama recently said, "Cynicism has never won a war, or cured a disease, or started a business, or fed a young mind, or sent men into space. Cynicism is a choice. Hope is a better choice." What does it mean to have hope? Hope is defined as a feeling of expectation and desire for a certain event to happen. I know that in today's world, having hope can seem scary, fruitless, and even wasteful. Think of the problems that are facing our world today, such as poverty, famine, and disease. But did you know, since my own mother graduated from high school in 1993, world poverty rates have been cut almost in half. That has been accomplished by hope. I thought of all the things I could speak about today. How often do you get the attention of your entire graduating class, the administration and faculty, and numerous members of the military and their families? I could have spoken on many topics. I could have spoken on my own experience of attending 3 different high schools throughout Germany. I could have told you about playing soccer or taking AP classes or attending Model US Senate. You would have left, listened to me speak, but without value to my words. Instead, I chose to share my message of hope for the future with you, my hope that we all have aspirations and optimism. Hope is a spark, a catalyst for change, a way to improve situations. A wise man once said that you can't change what you do not acknowledge. Let us admit we've made mistakes, but let us have hope that we can go forward learning from our mistakes and make a difference. Whether that difference is that you encourage a young mind through teaching at a Department of Defense school abroad, or that you deploy to the Middle East and help rebuild a nation. Go forward with hope in your heart. There are many ways to make a difference. You don't have to be a teacher or a soldier, or even though those are incredible approaches to make the world a better place, of course. The opportunities to volunteer and give of yourself are overwhelming. In October 2015, I volunteered with Habitat for Humanity and built homes for people in need in Romania. My contribution seemed small. My stucco work was not perfect and my nails were not straight. Those 8 houses would have still been built whether I was there or not. Now imagine if every person at that build site thought the same. That is how cynicism takes hold and hope is defeated. Every person who contributes matters. Hope is a small drop in a big bucket. That bucket will never be filled unless you turn on the faucet. When I think of hope, I think of my own grandfather on my dad's side, who was born in Königsberg, Prussia in 1936. His father, my great-grandfather, was taken as a prisoner of war by the Soviets, and he left my grandfather alone as a small child with his mother and his 7 brothers and sisters. As World War II drew to an end in 1944, my grandfather was forced to flee from Königsberg with his family. I remember the story he would tell about hiding on a deserted dirt road from Soviet soldiers with his mother and 7 brothers and sisters. The Soviet soldiers' dogs could hear the rustle of the children and began to bark. The one soldier investigated the sound, and upon finding it was a woman with 8 children, told the other guard it was only an animal, and he walked on. My grandfather's family ended up in Trier, Germany, and my grandfather eventually immigrated to the United States in 1965. He left his home because he had hoped to give his children and his children's children a better life than he had been dealt. He taught me that hope without action is meaningless. To my fellow graduates, it'd be easy to say that the problems facing the world weren't created by us, but it's the world we are inheriting, and we have youth on our side. Never before have people our age had the opportunities that we do. But let us not forget the quote, "To whom much is given, much is expected." Graduates, let us heed the call. Where is the class of 2016? Our nation is calling us. Where is the class of 2016? The world is waiting for us. Where is the class of 2016? To that I say, we are here and we are ready. Congratulations, class of 2016. We did it.
This year's valedictorian is Terramar Serrano Vega with a GPA of 4.214. Terramar was born in Ponce, Puerto Rico, and moved to Ansbach as a sophomore. She is the daughter of Tony and Maribel Serrano. While in high school, Terramar was a member of the National Honor Society, German Honor Society, National Society of High School Scholars, Educators Rising, Spanish Honor Society, and Student Government. She also participated in Model United States Senate, Political and International Security Seminar, German American Youth Conference, was yearbook editor for 2 years, and was class officer for 3 years. Terramar is also involved with her church, helping with younger children, assisting with Vacation Bible School, participated in a service project in the Czech Republic, and was an active member of a Spanish Bible study. Terramar has been accepted to the University of Puerto Rico, where she plans to major in biology. Ladies and gentlemen, my sister, Terramar Serrano Vega.
Hello, graduates. Hello, guests. Someone very wise once said, "Life is like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're gonna get." Life is truly full of surprises. When I was a little girl, I dreamed of being valedictorian. Yet as my school had progressed and I encountered many innovative and intelligent students, I realized I had to work harder if such a dream were to be accomplished. Many times, I was doubtful of my skills and gave up on my dream. At times, it seemed silly that standing on stage for only 50 minutes and giving a speech would mean so much. But it did. Standing here now, I am very grateful to my parents, but overall, I am thankful to God. That being said, getting here wasn't all that simple for any of us. Students had to dedicate time to classes and set their priorities straight. But in the end, it was worth it. Now, on the threshold of greater freedom and responsibility, it seems like we are finally seizing our happily ever after. While this occasion deserves much celebration, we will soon realize that the events we participated in and encountered throughout our high school years were preparation for the next chapter in our lives. Graduates, each of us will soon be taking different paths. Maybe someday we will see each other again. Maybe this will be the last time. Regardless, I wish for you the best. For over a week, I considered what advice I could leave you guys with, what encouraging words would resonate with us and continue to echo in each of our futures. I decided to focus on fear. A paradox in itself, fear is a 4-letter word that describes an overwhelming, all-encompassing emotion. Fear usually arises when going to a new place, facing a challenge, working with a weakness, or facing failure. Interestingly for me, failure was my biggest fear. In my mind, failure and fear walked hand in hand. On various occasions during my academic career, I was afraid I would fail. So instead of persevering, I would stay situated within the parameters I had drawn for myself. Surprisingly, however, during my final year of high school, I decided to take calculus. This was an enormous step for me. Math and I had always been fair acquaintances, but we were never best friends. When the school year commenced, I knew this class would be the most challenging for me, and it was. I was overwhelmed with fear. Doubtful thoughts kept invading my head. What if I got a bad grade in the class? What if it was too hard? What if I couldn't handle it? I was overwhelmed with fear. I knew I was taking a risk, and doing so meant facing the uncertainty of the future and the possibility of failure. But as Ms. Lucas once said, we cannot be afraid of the successes of which we are capable. In the end, the process we undergo to face our fears will reap abundant blessings. Retrospectively, I am thankful for the choice I made. Though I failed on many occasions, struggling and failing helped me acquire much knowledge. I faced spasmodic disappointments, profound discouragements, and much internal frustration, but each moment, God provided an angel. My family, friends, and teachers gave me encouragement, believed in me, and helped me face the fear that overwhelmed me. Thankfully, I made it through calculus. But I now realize that this is just the beginning. In life, there will always be something we each struggle with. Yet regardless of the fear we have, we must face it. I'm positive many angels will be there to guide you along the way too.
Recognize that fear will always be there. Struggles won't go away either. The journey of life will provide us with plenty of things to fear. Despite this, let's take a firm stance and courageously face fear. After all, nobody knows what will happen tomorrow until it becomes yesterday. And who knows, maybe conquering a fear will be all it takes to kindle a brighter tomorrow. Despite the difficult decisions that await us, we should urge one another to embrace the uncertainty, the doubt,
the fear.
We must accept it, but never let it control us. Like we Cougars say, respect all, fear none. Regardless of the fear, we must be willing to take risks and strive for our dreams. As Victor Hugo once said, there is nothing like a dream to create the future. We should figure out our dream and strive for it. We should discover our passion. Regardless of what people say, prove them wrong. Regardless of the limitations you see before you, prove yourself wrong. Give your best effort and persevere. Moreover, graduates, classmates, friends, I encourage you to valiantly face challenges, take risks, and give your best effort in spite of the obstacles and fears that will inevitably arise. Today, we step forth toward a new beginning. It seems like we could do anything in the world, and we can. Whatever path you take, I hope for you the best. Furthermore, I hope the chocolates life surprises us with are just the right flavors to build our character and steer us towards the right future to which we aspire. Congratulations, class of 2016. Our future awaits. Let's conquer it.
Thomas Alva Edison once said, the three great essentials to achieve anything worthwhile are first, hard work, second, stick-to-itiveness, third, common sense. Our commencement speaker tonight is an example of an individual who has used these great essentials to achieve great things. Colonel Christopher M. Benson's military career began with an assignment at Fort Ord, California as a platoon leader. That is a long way away from the job of Garrison Commander, United States Army Garrison Ansbach, his current assignment. In the years between, Colonel Benson has been stationed at Fort Lewis, Washington, Daegu, South Korea, Fort Carson, Colorado, Alexandria, Virginia, Fort Leavenworth, Kansas, Fort Riley, Kansas, Fort Irwin, California, Anchorage, Alaska, White Sands, New Mexico, Heidelberg, Germany, and Wiesbaden, Germany. It is a certainty that hard work got him to his current position of authority. The path that brought him from the University of Tennessee, where he earned a Bachelor of Science degree in industrial engineering and was a wide receiver for the Volunteers, also took him to the University of Missouri, Rolla, where he earned a master's degree in engineering management, and then to the United States Army War College in Carlisle Barracks, Pennsylvania, where he completed his academic career with a master's of strategic studies. These degrees were conferred while serving our nation, active duty, completing multiple deployments, activating a battalion, closing an entire military community overseas, to name but a few of the duties in his career. It is a certainty that stick-to-itiveness got him through the demands of balancing school, duty, and life. Colonel Benson is here tonight as our garrison commander and as a huge supporter of our school. He and his wife, Kelly, are the proud parents of two DoDEA-Europe graduates, members of classes 2013 and 2015, respectively, and a member of the class of 2019. Be it a football, basketball, soccer event, or an honor roll assembly, Colonel Benson recognizes the importance of celebrating who we are right now. It is a certainty that common sense allows him the foresight to navigate the special days of dependent life with the responsibilities asked of him by the community he represents worldwide. It is with great respect and thanks that I ask you to join me and my classmates in welcoming Colonel Christopher M. Benson.
Thank you, Tito, for that kind introduction. I don't know where you got all that G2 on me, but you went back quite a long ways. and I'm kind of an old man here. But believe it or not, I'm probably just as nervous as y'all, because I'm going through transition just like you. I'm closing a chapter soon, moving on to another chapter, and so I'm kind of nervous up here myself. So we'll see where it goes, all right? Mr. Carlisle, Mrs. Harrison, faculty and staff, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, and most importantly, parents of and graduating seniors from the class of 2016. Good evening, guten Abend, und grüß Gott. Seniors, congratulations. Wow. Y'all look great in your color-coordinated outfits there. Very nice. You know, high school graduation is a significant event in your life, and you can rightfully be very proud of your accomplishment. You'll remember for the rest of your life that you graduated from Ansbach High School in 2016. People will ask you many times throughout the course of your life, when did you graduate? And you will readily respond, 2016. However, not many other dates are as easily remembered. Throughout your life, people will also ask seemingly simple questions, such as, when were you married? Probably scratch your head and think about it for a little bit and say, something 2000 something. But then, it's true. But then, they ask you when did you graduate, and then immediately, boom, you'll respond 2016. That's how significant a milestone this is. And it happens to me all the time. They ask those questions, and I'm scratching my head. But anyway, now that we've established that you will remember for the rest of your life when you graduated from high school, what you probably won't remember is the graduation speech that I'm about to give. I graduated a long time ago, and I have absolutely no recollection whatsoever who spoke at my graduation or what he or she said. And now I'm that forgettable old man at the podium. In any case, I'm deeply honored to deliver this commencement address. I'm guessing that the regulars, Arnold Schwarzenegger, Lady Gaga, Kanye, 50 Cent, maybe Bob down the street, maybe they were probably busy, and I'm good with that. But it is truly an honor, and perhaps the last opportunity that I will have to speak at such a distinguished and captured crowd. Ms. Stroh told me that you wanted me to be funny, and well, if you haven't laughed yet, you're probably going to be disappointed, because that's pretty much the extent of my jokes. In fact, my son, front row there, highly recommended that I say nothing funny at all, because none of my material is funny. So I'll stay away from my normal stuff for fear that it'll make him look bad, as if I haven't done that already. According to all the research that I did last night, a commencement speech typically contains words of wisdom, advice about life, inspirational messages, lessons learned, etc., etc. So now my son asked me, then why did they pick you? And I said, because Bob from down the street was busy. But so anyway, what I hope to share with you tonight is just a few general observations and lessons learned, in no particular order, from my first 25 years as a kid and student, and then from my last 25 years as an officer, leader, and boss in the United States Army. There are probably 100 more lessons learned out there, and you can do what you want with this free advice. But I'm just choosing some from my life experiences, which have been defined by being members of a team, both successful and unsuccessful, that I've had opportunities to be on. Teams in sports, teams in the military, and teams in the game of life. Lesson number 1, always be kind and respectful towards others. You never know who may be watching or listening, but be assured someone always is. As an employer, boss, friend, family member, or neighbor, I want to interact with people who treat others with respect and who speak and act kindly towards one another. Bad-mouthing others, disrespectful actions, inappropriate behavior or postings, bad attitudes, all of these speak of your character, and they will eventually catch up with you, whether you know it or not. Don't be entitled. Don't think you should be treated better or more expeditiously than others, and don't expect people to serve or take care of your responsibilities. The government, your neighbors, the salesperson, or the waiter or waitress. We all have responsibilities, but it's not to provide you for all your wants and needs. You are not special and deserve nothing. The respect you think you deserve is earned through your actions. We are all equal, and it is your attitude and character towards others that will likely set the tone for all future engagements. What comes around goes around, and that includes opportunities as they come and go in your life. For example, the other day, a person called my office about a job opportunity that he desperately wanted. I recognized the name from many years ago and remembered some things about that particular individual. I promptly said, "No, thank you for calling, but no," because I did not want this person to work in my organization. It's as simple as that. You never know who you're talking to, who they may know, or when your words or actions will catch up with you. Lesson 2. Talent alone will only get you so far. Now, I know most of you because I've seen you on the court, on the field, on the stage, at JRTC functions, or at awards assemblies, or wherever you may be. And I also know many of your moms and dads, and know there is a lot of talent in this room tonight, particularly on this stage. Some of you are going off to college, others will join the military, and yet others will do something else. Whatever and wherever you go, you'll be starting a new chapter in your life. In many respects, you'll start with a clean slate. Whatever you decide to do it well, and do it better than the next guy. So some of you may recall my story about hunting bear in Alaska from the JRTC ball a couple years ago. The primary consideration when choosing a hunting partner is to find someone slower than you. As long as you are one step ahead of him, you'll be safe from an attacking bear. The same goes in life. I've encouraged my kids to do the things necessary to be one step faster than the other guy. Do one more push-up, run one more lap, study 20 minutes longer, or arrive 5 minutes earlier. Because if you put in that extra effort and you can outperform the other guy, or do the simple things like just show up on time and go to work, then you're going to impress your boss, get and keep the job, and be more competitive and successful in whatever you choose to do in life. And again, whatever it is you choose, do it better than the next guy and do it the best you can. However, you need to realize that it takes more than talent to be successful. There are intangibles as well, such as dedication, attention to detail, work ethic, and attitude, to name just a few. I played football, as Tito mentioned, with some of the most physically talented individuals I've ever seen. Some, however, never saw the field on Saturday afternoon because although they had the talent, they did not possess some of the intangibles necessary to be successful. Bad attitudes, poor work ethic, and a sense of entitlement doomed many of them. Many years ago, I had some talent. Not great, but some. I used to be cool. I used to play football. I used to be fast. I used to could jump. I used to could catch. I used to be able to do this and be able to do that. But that was all in the past and has no relevance now. Over the course of time, I've had to develop new talents, new skills, and adapt to the changing environment. And I'm still adapting to ensure that I can still achieve some level of success. In the real world, nobody, and I primarily mean your boss or your employer, they don't really care what you used to do or who you used to be or what you used to do. They only care about what you can do for them now. If your past fame or talent can still sell the product, or your contribution to the organization outweighs your cost to the organization, and not just in money, but also in time, effort, and drama, then they will probably keep you. If your costs, however, outweigh your contributions, then they'll most likely find somebody else. Every day you need to produce. If you can't or won't, then they'll find someone else who will, and your excuses won't matter. Lesson 3, life is hard. It's harder when you're stupid. Your future boss wants people who are reliable, trustworthy, competent, drama-free, and have a good attitude. You control all of these things. You control how reliable you are, or how trustworthy you are, or how competent you are or will become. No one can change your attitude or pull you into drama unless you allow them to. I could tell you lots of stories from 25 years of dealing with soldiers and their acts of stupidity. There are also things that me and my crew back in the day, did that I would never want my children to do. That was another age, another time. But believe me, I've made all sorts of stupid, well, maybe not quite stupid, but let's just say ill-advised decisions when I was young and in high school. And I will tell you, however, that I was smart enough to know that when I graduated from high school and turned 18 and became an adult, that the consequences of stupidity became much greater. Football and ROTC instilled in me some discipline and the realization that life can be hard and much harder when you're stupid. Some of my partners did not get that memo. As a result, some of them are still paying for their stupidity. Their poor judgment in friends, decisions related to drugs, alcohol, bank robbery, or whatever they got themselves into, and of course their poor decisions negatively impacted their marriages, their families, their careers, and reputations. Don't be that guy or girl, and I know you won't. But like one of my coaches used to ask me, Benson, are you going to be dumb all your life? Coach. So lesson 4 is more is learned in failure than success. And you can probably go back to lesson 3 to figure out what the failures are. But don't be afraid of failure. We all make mistakes, own up to them, and learn from them, and do it better next time. Success masks mistakes. Winners sometimes can't be told they need to improve, but those winners' days are numbered. Champions, however, know better and they study the film. Champions are open to being tested, inspected, externally evaluated, and they embrace the input and resolve to improve their performance. Too many people feel disrespected when people criticize them or point out areas needing improvement. They point fingers and make excuses for why it wasn't their fault and pass blame onto others for their problems. Before you blame others, however, for your failures or problems, I recommend that you do concentric circles around yourself. If you know yourself, you might just learn something. You will soon be leaving home and entering the real world. You already are or will be an adult, over 18 years old. And you, and only you, are responsible for your actions. Own up and be accountable. Be open to the criticism. Or on the cloud. Belittling or bullying people on social media is not helpful and really only makes you look stupid. Posting funny but inappropriate things tarnishes your reputation. Eleanor Roosevelt once said that great minds discuss ideas, average minds discuss events,